today, introducing Mr. G. Edward Griffin himself. Ed here to talk about the Red Pill Expo and Red Pill University, right, Edward?
Well, thanks for that, Michelle. Yeah, I'm spending much of my time, most of my time right now on those projects, the Red Pill Expo and the Red Pill University. So what's that all about? It's hard to condense down to a couple of minutes, but a long time ago, I recognized that we need to build an army, a virtual army, maybe a real army someday, but not one with weapons like guns and bayonets, but with weapons like the truth and facts and some programs that we can use to motivate people to convert their knowledge and their concerns about what's going on in the world, to convert that into effective action. So that's really what it's all about. You know, they say knowledge is power. Well, if I were the teacher in that class, I'd give half credit for that, because now knowledge is not power by itself. I mean, there are a lot of very knowledgeable people who have no power. And every time there's a revolution in the world, sometimes the most knowledgeable people are the ones that they line up against the walls and shoot first. Having a library full of books isn't going to protect you from the great calamities of the world. But what will? Well, it's when you convert that knowledge into effective action, where you can actually do something to bring about tangible changes in the system. That's what I'm interested in. Yeah, knowledge is important, and I spend a lot of my time trying to learn as much as I can about this, that, and the other thing. I've written a couple of books, as Michelle has said, and all of that. But reading books, that's not it. You've got to really immerse yourself with people contact. You've got to get out into the real world. You've got to get out of in front of your television set and away from your computer and go out where the people are. Don't expect them to come to you. You have to go to where they are. I've learned this from observing our opponents in this battle. The people that have all these organizations out there that are running the world. I mean, some of them are very well-funded organizations at their highest level, and some of them are like street organizations. But whatever it is, there are people involved. It's not just somebody reading a book. Okay, enough of that background. That's the kind of thinking that led me to believe that we had to have a structure to mobilize and organize and coordinate the activities of those people who want to really do something other than just learn about how bad things are. And so I'm thinking, well, we have to popularize it a bit, but we don't want to wander too far from our principles. In fact, we don't want to wander from our principles at all. But we can't just talk about freedom and constitutional requirements and all this stuff that sounds kind of stuffy to a lot of people. And what we're talking about here is certainly anything but stuffy. This is life and death stuff. So, but we have to popularize it in some way and make it sound like it's worth somebody spending some time to learn about that. But what about this red pill thing? Everybody knows about the red pill meme. You know, the idea that you take the red pill and you wake up to reality and see life the way it really is. Take the blue pill and you go back to sleep and live in your illusion. Maybe that's the meme or the analogy we can use, because it's really at the base of everything we're trying to do. It's authentic. So we thought, let's try the Red Pill Expo, see if it works. Well, we had our first Red Pill Expo in 2017 in Bozeman, Montana, of all places. Who wants to go to Bozeman? Well, it turns out everybody wants to go to Bozeman, including me. I had never been up there before. I thought this is a good opportunity to see that beautiful country up there in Montana and visit some of those great national parks that are up there. So it turned out a lot of people wanted to go to Bozeman, and they came. They came from around the world. We had, as I recall, we had people there from 7 different countries. Came from Europe, came from Asia, came from Canada, came from Mexico, and all over the place. And because we had struck a chord, our theme is that, you know, everybody is aware at the deep level that something is wrong. We got to find out what it is, because we're not going to sit there and just watch it go. We have this, we're responding to an internal drive to do something about it. Not everybody has that drive, but many of us do. And we don't need but about 1% of the population with that kind of drive, and you can change the world. It's always been that way. The world is always, history has always been written by 1% or 3% of the population, and the rest just sort of go along see which side is going to win, and they'll be on that side. So anyway, that 1% of our mailing list and a few other mailing lists came to Bozeman, Montana. And it played out perfectly because those were the people we wanted to reach. They wanted to learn more, but more than that, they wanted to become active and to make some changes to make this a better world. What the heck are we playing games for if we're not trying to bring about reform and do something that's leave the world better than we found it? So the idea of the Red Pill Expo turned out to be a good guess. It's been very successful. We've had 4 of them so far now. And our next one is scheduled for October of 2020. And it's going to be, of all places, on Jekyll Island, Georgia. Now, in case that doesn't ring a bell with you, maybe you haven't read my book. I hope you all have, of course. A lot of people haven't. But my book is called The Creature from Jekyll Island, a second look at the Federal Reserve. Well, this is a big topic. The Federal Reserve is a big thing in most of our lives, whether we know it or not. Our financial transactions invade every sphere of our life. And especially of late, we're going to see how invasive it really is when the economy starts tumbling. And this is not just because of the coronavirus at all. It's tumbling because of all the underpinnings have been removed long ago by people at the Federal Reserve and the banking system and all the politicians who support that. But anyway, so it's a big topic, and anybody who's read The Creature from Jekyll Island knows that this is where all the trouble started, at a highly secret meeting there, where these guys sat around a table and they dreamed up this thing called the Federal Reserve. Turns out to be a cartel, not a government agency. And that was the beginning of a huge chunk of our problems. And those who have done a little homework are aware of that. So the idea of having our meeting on Jekyll Island, where all this started, is kind of interesting. It's kind of exciting. So that's it. We're going to have our next expo on Jekyll Island in 2020. So you read all about it by coming to our website, which is redpillexpo.org. redpillexpo.org. You see a list of speakers. We're assembling that list right now. There are going to be a lot of people, of course, talking about banking and the economy, which will probably be even a hotter topic by next October. And of course, we'll have a lot of people talking about the coronavirus, the real and the phony, and the theater that's going on, and some of the nefarious hidden agendas behind all of this lockdown and distortion of death figures and all that. There's a lot of hidden action going on here to talk about, and we'll have some top doctors and researchers, medical people there to talk about that. And so check us out. Now, in the meantime, Michelle has asked about the Red Pill University. Okay, well, what's that all about? Red Pill University, in short, is just like Red Pill Expo on steroids, because it's every day of the year. And it's particularly of value, I think, today, where we're being told we have to stay inside our houses and people are spending more time on their television or on their computer. Well, Red Pill University is very much involved with videos. We're loading up every day. We're loading highly informative presentations from around the world, a lot of them from our own faculty. And by faculty, I mean people who have presented on stage at Red Pill Expo. And so it's all there. You don't have to wait for October. And so we invite you to come to redpilluniversity.org. And it's most of it is entirely free. We will hope that you like what you see well enough that you want to enroll at some level and send us some moolah so we can continue the process, you know. We really have big plans, and we hope to, before the end of the year, have many tens, if not hundreds of thousands of, if not enrolled students, at least guests that come to the university. And there's much to learn there. And not only to learn, I'm back to my original statement, it's not just learning and getting the facts, but to do something about it. The goal, perhaps the most important goal of the university, is to form local campuses, actual groups in every local community where we have that 1 to 3% of the people where their crusader gene is vibrating and they want to do something about it. We want to be at the center of creating local groups that we call campuses. These are people who will become politically active, and who make a difference in the political and social structures in their local community. That all cascades up and eventually can make a difference on the national and the international stage. It's a big topic, it's a big task, it's a big challenge. And I would like to extend that challenge to you. Come to redpillexpo.org and see what we're planning for next October, but be sure to come to redpilluniversity.org because that's going on right now, and it will be going on 24/7 every day of the year. So I hope you made sense, or I made sense out of this brief survey of information. I hope you'll accept my invitation, and I definitely hope to see you at the Red Pill.
Yes, thank you so much, Ed. Something so extraordinary, a place for everybody to meet and everyone to go to see videos about what's happening right now, this catastrophe, both economically and spiritually, upon the world, and what actually is behind the curtain, as you pointed out. And it's so extraordinary that this year it's going to be held at Jekyll Island in Georgia. Everybody has
Yeah.
to go there. Thank you so much, sir, for that little nutshell of what this is all about. And we will see you in October.
Excellent. Thank you.